Watch me explain one of the biggest causes of low back pain in under 60 seconds. And by the end of this video, you will understand why something as simple as sitting may aggravate your back pain, and why the answer may not be to stop sitting completely. But first, let's look at what many people describe as a sudden problem. The moment your back suddenly starts hurting. Many people say, "I sat down and suddenly my back started hurting," or "I stood up from the chair and my back suddenly locked." But the problem is often not one single moment of sitting. That moment may simply be when you finally notice the pain. The real problem may have been building gradually through a combination of prolonged sitting, limited movement, poor conditioning, and repeated stress over time. And this is where the story becomes important, because if you only focus on the exact moment your back started hurting, you may miss what happened during the hours or even days before it. Why prolonged sitting may aggravate back pain. When you stay in one position for hours, your body is exposed to the same movement demands or lack of movement for a long period of time. Your back and hip muscles may become stiff. Your body may become less tolerant of sudden movement. And when you suddenly bend, lift, twist, or exercise after spending a long time inactive, your back may react. This does not necessarily mean that sitting has damaged your back, and it does not mean that every person with low back pain should avoid chairs or sitting completely. The important question is, how long are you staying in one position, and what happens when you suddenly ask your body to do something different? And this brings us back to the moment many people remember most. I sat down, and then my back started hurting. The real pattern. Often, the pattern may look more like this. You sit for hours, you move very little, your back and hips become stiff. Your muscles become less prepared for sudden demands. Then you suddenly bend to pick something up. You twist, you lift, you exercise, and your back may react. The pain may seem sudden, but the contributing factors may have been accumulating over time. This is why the solution is not necessarily to avoid sitting forever. The better strategy is to interrupt long periods of sitting before your body becomes completely inactive for hours at a time. What should you do instead? Stand up, walk, change position, move your body regularly, strengthen your trunk and hips gradually, and learn how to lift and move with control. You do not need to wait until your back becomes painful before you start moving. In fact, one of the most useful habits may be to interrupt long periods of inactivity before your back starts complaining. Even simple changes in position and regular movement can help you avoid spending hour after hour in exactly the same posture. But remember, the exact approach depends on the cause of your back pain. So let's return to the question from the beginning. Why might sitting aggravate back pain? It is often not because one single moment of sitting suddenly caused a problem. It may be the combination of prolonged sitting, limited movement, poor conditioning, and repeated stress over time. Then, when you suddenly bend, lift, twist, or exercise, your back may be asked to do more than it is currently prepared to tolerate. That is why the goal is not necessarily to stop sitting. The goal is to avoid staying in one position for too long, gradually improve your strength and mobility, and learn to move with better control. Important warning signs. However, some symptoms should not simply be ignored. If your back pain is accompanied by significant leg weakness, loss of bladder or bowel control, or numbness in the saddle area, seek urgent medical attention. These symptoms require prompt medical evaluation. Final message. Don't wait for your back to become painful before you start moving. Stand up, change position, walk regularly, build strength gradually, and remember, sometimes the moment you feel back pain is not the moment the problem began. It may simply be the moment your body finally told you that something had been building for a while.